Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a between Barcode and Fusion on Ruins of Ceres. This was submitted to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com, and if you too have a replay, Master's level or higher, that is really interesting, feel free to submit it to me at that address, and we will see if I will cast it. In the top left of Ruins of Ceres, we have the red Zerg player. It is Barcode. And in the bottom right of Ruins of Ceres, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Fusion, representing Team Ascension. Now, TA Pro basically means that the player is part of Team Ascension and on their pro teams. This is a high-level player for Team Ascension. There are some other lower ones, depending on exactly what their tags are. But TA Pro is the highest they have, so I'm looking forward to this game for sure, between Fusion and between Barcode. Now, again, one thing that you may have noticed is some of my previous casts were in non-1080 format, and so there were bars along the sides here, left and right. I apologize for that. I was messing with the resolution in my game and didn't fix it, and so hopefully the most frequent casts, or most recent casts rather, do include the full 1080p, the full widescreen that you've come to know and love from Falcon Paladin. Again, I apologize for the weirdness, but it should be fixed now. Also, go ahead and visit my store. There's a link in the description, and also on the end slate, there's a button you can click to get there. Just basically Falcon Paladin t-shirts, StarCraft 2 t-shirts, fun stuff you can wear and be proud of your fandom of this amazing, amazing game, especially now that Legacy of the Void is out. You can show your love for the game with pride. So this probe is scouting around, not really seeing much of anything, unfortunately. This is a huge map. It's a 4-player map. There are places you can go, and your opponent can spawn anywhere. And so the fact that we are finding this, it looks like the second place is pretty decent for Fusion. He could have actually scouted maybe here first and then down there, but either way, there is actually a 3-hatch here before pool coming out for Barcode. And is the pool going to come out anytime soon? The answer is yes, right now. There goes the pool at approximately 19 supply. So it's a late pool, but again, it's a huge map, and it just takes a long time for scouting to happen. If this probe had any mischief on its mind, it might be able to do some cannoning here, but unfortunately there is not a forge back home for the Protoss player, so that cannot happen. We'll just scout and say, crud, this is a massive, massive macro build for Barcode. What am I going to do to counter this? And I don't think that Fusion quite knows yet, but he might have an inkling of an idea. There was something else I was going to talk about here. What was it? Oh yes! Oh yes, I am looking for a new screener. My previous screener has kind of gone incommunicado. I haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks now, and I'm kind of worried about him. But in the meantime, I need somebody to go through all of the replays I am getting submitted to me for Into the Void, especially. I'm getting a lot of people really, really wanting to be featured in that particular type of cast. I also have some other, Masters level or higher replays that people are submitting to me. I need someone to look through those and see which ones are actually good games and which ones are not. So go ahead and contact me at falconpaladin@gmail.com if you're interested in being that screener. I kind of need you right away, to be honest. My next issue of Into the Void is on Friday. And so if you wouldn't mind getting back to me soon, I'll give you a group to look at. I just don't have all the time in the world to look through those, considering I'm doing a campaign playthrough. And I go to the gym, and I have 3 kids and a full-time job, and I'm doing 2 casts a day. It's just kind of really starting to add up. So if you want to help out with that, please let me know. I would be eternally grateful to you, and you would be super awesome, and I'd give you a shout out on my channel and everything. Alright, that's enough business. We are still looking at a pretty solid macro game here. Starting to wall off is Fusion here from Team Ascension. I think let's going to go over here to finish this. It's a pretty big gap. Perhaps just another pylon would be enough, but right now not even really bothering to make any attacking units, letting the Zerg player whatever he wants to do. Fusion is teching up as fast as Protossly possible. Getting Warp Gate, getting some sentries just to hold the line here. And the next thing that the Protoss player builds should be pretty instructive as to what he plans on doing with this Barcode Zerg player. And, oh, it's a pylon, so definitely a pylon there. No, cancels the pylon and instead builds a pylon somewhere else. Look at the thrills in this game. So right now it's 30 to 38 harvesters, so a 3-hatch opening can't really quite keep up with a 2-base Protoss player who's using Chrono Boost consistently on both of the Nexuses, as you can see here. But the sentry's going to hold the line here. And is it a 3rd Nexus? Attempting to throw down a 3rd Nexus, but guess what? Some Lings are on the way. They don't have speed. They will not have speed anytime soon, but +1 attack slow Lings might not be too bad. Look at all those sentries. Whoa! Killing 2 Lings immediately. Some other Lings try to come in here. They're going to go, directly go after this pylon first, try to get the probe, but man, 6 sentries against this many Lings, forcing a cancel on that. They are retreating. The Lings recognize they can't deal with that many sentries. Sentries don't hit very hard, but it is 6 damage, and Lings don't have a whole lot of HP to deal with, and especially they're just basically outnumbered by the sentries at this point. So double pylon now coming up for Fusion. He wants these to come up so you can photon overcharge them against any more Zerg harass that comes on in. Hallucinated Phoenix scouting things out, and a +1 Carapace on the way for the Zerg player. Is that just, yeah, 3rd Nexus. So 3 Nexuses before the Protoss player decides, there it is, to throw down the Robo Facility. It's not a Stargate, it's not a Twilight Council, instead it is a Robo Facility. Let's see how the injects are doing here for our Zerg player. Looking alright, needs to inject right about now. There we go. Man, I'm good at that. Moving out across the map is a small push with Sentry Stalker and a single Adept, as well as a Mothership Core, just to recall home in case something bad happens. 18 Lings are on the way. The metabolic boost is going to finish. They are +1, which makes them pretty darn good. I don't know how well this attack is going to succeed for Fusion here, but the Queen backing on out, waiting for those Lings to pop in to group on up and try to get a surround on this group. Force fields for Team Ascension's Fusion. If they are good, they should be able to hold off a Sling attack. More Adepts coming in as well, just trying to group up all of his units and deciding to go for it. Here come the Lings with a +1 attack. Force fields are pretty darn good. A lot of Lings trapped outside, trying to get some kills, trying to take down these Adepts. Lings are getting slaughtered. You can hear them dying very, very quickly here. A lot dying outside these force fields. Pretty darn fantastic placement there. 2 Lings popping out, and I think Barcode might need to actually abandon this base. I don't see how he can save these workers. He needs to at least evacuate right now. Another force field comes in, but 1 sentry does fall. Another sentry. The Ling count is getting huge, and there's the recall pulling on out of there to the safety of the 3rd base. Units lost tab shows 11 drones and 49 Lings have died. 5 Adepts and 4 sentries there. So basically a lot of minerals have been lost for the Zerg and a bunch of gas for the Protoss player. So it is, again, a 3 base here for the Protoss. Lings trying to come in and snipe off individual Adepts. Not quite able to do it. A 4th base, about 30%, 40% complete there for the Zerg player. Warp Prism on the way. Look at the placement of these Overlords along the scouting paths. Excellent, excellent job there by Barcode. And who is, oh, a Macro Hatch coming up. I like to see that. Basically, the Zerg player is going to have so much larva. There's a good inject. Good girl. And you too. Oh, man. Look at this. I am the Queen Whisperer today. Is there a Queen coming up here to inject? Yes, there is. Slowly, slowly crawling across the map. And a lair just about to finish, as well as +1 missile attack. This could just be a Roach, Hydra, Lurker type play for the Zerg player. It could be Mutalisks, but again, the missile attack tells me it's likely going to be at least Hydralisks, and indeed, the Hydralisk Den is on the way. Pretty good against this composition of Stalker and Adept and Sentry there. We'll have to see if they can pop out in time to do anything about this next attack, though. I think Lings are going to have to be the answer here. And they're going to swing on in, see the group, and what's in the production tab for the Zerg player Barcode? The answer is he's going to wait on his Hydras. He's going to trust that the Hydralisks will show up in time to make this worth it. Once again, this 3rd base, though, is under attack. The Lings can't quite deal with this number of units. And force fielding off a little bit prematurely there. The Stalkers and the Sentries try to get rid of this Macro Hatch. More Adepts coming from the south. 2 Hydralisks on the way, 26 Lings. It looks like Barcode is trying to trust in the power of Lings with +1 attack and +1 armor against this army. Lings pop on out, swing around here from the right side. They get the flank attack, getting right on top of these Stalkers. They will start to tear through them fairly quickly. Oh, amazing force fields, keeping most of the Stalkers alive, if not all of the Stalkers. Again, the hatchery is going to fall. The Broodlings come out and forcing the Protoss player back just a little bit here. A Queen does manage to kill an Adept. A few individual Stalkers are getting picked off as they are left, and I think Fusion might cut his losses and run here. There's another attack with Adepts, however, going on in the main base here, killing so many workers. Does not look good at all. Hydras trying to do what they can, but force fields keeping them away from this main army, and there's the recall, but still the Adepts are still in here, locking down the space almost entirely, killing so many workers. 25 drones have died to this point for Barcode. Lings and Hydras trying to come up here to stop this, but all the workers are already dead. The Adepts have done their terrible, terrible work. They're trying to back themselves into a corner. Oh, and they get picked up. But one of the Adepts gets left behind. There's not enough room in the base or inside this Warp Prism for her to go home. And a 5th base is coming up for Barcode, but it's 55 to 59 total Harvesters. Those little pushes doing quite a bit of damage for Fusion. The first Disruptor here is out on the field. Another one is in process of warping in, and +2 ground attack on the way for Fusion. The Adepts drop on back here, killing even more drones. Barcode is not choosing to actually get rid of those drones or run those drones away when the attacks are coming, which I think is causing him to lose more workers than he otherwise would. But a Spore Crawler would be nice, a Spine Crawler would be nice, some kind of static defense would be nice for Barcode to deal with these attacks, because they are really starting to take a toll on his economy. 30 drones have died. He's still up compared to the Protoss player, 74 to 59, but at this point he should have a bigger army than he does. He is down 140 to 152 supply, and here come the Adepts once again. Hydra's trying to get into a position to actually kill this Warp Prison. They get a couple shots off, but don't actually hurt it in any substantial way. Another push coming across the map, this time augmented by Disruptors. I don't know where these guys are going. They're kind of bashing their heads against a wall. Dumb pathing, I think, for the moment on those Disruptors. Continuing to, what? Getting upgrades, getting a hive here for the Zerg player, +2 attack. Just now finishing for Fusion. And dink! There it goes. +2 on these Stalkers. Pretty scary indeed. Disruptors doing 145 splash damage to everything they hit, which is everything Zerg gets one-shot by that particular spell. And guess what? I think this base is going to fall. I don't know if there's enough army. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. Adrenal Glands for the Lings is going to be a Ling Ultra composition against this, which would be pretty good. But I don't know if Barcode is actually going to be able to get there or not. The Ling Hydra composition is too small. Here comes, Purification Nova killing 5 or 6 Hydras. And Barcode needed every single Hydralisk he could get. Trying to dodge once again. Nope. Nope, that's it. That's a GG from Barcode. Barcode's defeated. Fusion's victorious. And Barcode has left the game. Just an absolutely brutal final push there from Fusion. The Disruptors doing their dark work. Again, 8 kills, 3 kills on those 2 Disruptors. Again, +2 Scent Stalkers are pretty good. +2 Adepts, also pretty fantastic. It's just Barcode wasn't able to get up the army he needed to deal with his particular composition. He didn't dodge the Disruptor hits nearly well enough. He was very down in army size, and that pretty much cost him the game. So good timing attacks here from Fusion. Just really impressed with his play. APM by about 250, 200 for these 2 players here. Fantastic all the way around, and I was really excited to cast that one. It was pretty good from start to finish. All right, so this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between... Oh, let's not do that. Thank you so much for watching today. What is an autopilot there just for a second? Whew, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.